Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, December 1st, at 8:25 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 671 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. China calls on citizens to leave eastern Congo after attacks. Colorado newspaper apologizes for the embarrassment that is Boebert with stinging op-ed. Peru archaeologists find mummy up to 1,200 years old. China says 85% of citizens will use Mandarin by 2025. Japan Emperor's daughter Aiko turns 20, throne not in sight. Hundreds of Taiwanese extradited to China, says report. Sheriff, Oxford High School shooting suspect used gun debt bought on Black Friday. Trump tested positive for COVID few days before Biden debate, Chief of Staff says in new book. Anti-vaccine Christian broadcaster Marcus Lamb dies at 64 after contracting COVID. Kyle Rittenhouse says he is destroying the AR-15 rifle he used in Kenosha and doesn't want anything to do with it. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. How 2 flights to Europe may have spurred spread of new variant, The New York Times. CNN's Chris Cuomo suspended over a role in ex-Gov, Andrew Cuomo's sex scandal, Reuters. Oxford school shooting, latest, chilling classroom video emerges as parent stops his pet talking to police, The Independent. Alice Ebold biopic axed after man's rape conviction is overturned, The Independent. Colbert exposes known liar DR's ahead of Senate run, The Daily Beast. MLB rumors, live updates from free agent frenzy as Javier Baez, Corey Seager, Max Scherzer find new homes, CBSSports.com. Air travelers to U.S. set to face tougher COVID-19 testing, New York Post. Councilman Andre Dickens wins Atlanta mayor race, New York Post. Exclusive, everything Brian Kelly told Notre Dame players in exit meeting, Irish Illustrated. Ohio State defeats number 1 Duke, what it means for the Buckeyes, the Blue Devils and college basketball, ESPN. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Colbert flattens anti-vax Aaron Rodgers with Omicron one-liner. Author Alice Ebold apologizes to the man cleared of her rape after 40 years. Trump returned positive COVID test just before a first Biden debate, claims Mark Meadows. Kimmel goes to town on right-wing screwballs attacking Fauci. Founder of anti-vaccine Christian TV network dies after COVID-19 fight. CDC may tighten COVID-19 testing requirements for all international arrivals. Trans Jeopardy, contestant makes history, hopes to show trans kids they can, too. Muslim lawmakers condemn Republicans' inaction after Boebert's Islamophobic remarks. Auschwitz Museum condemns Fox Nation host Lara Logan for Fauci comments. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. Powerful new signs hope to curb gun violence. PD, man shot in neck by brother during argument. Non-smoker with lung cancer spreads awareness. Infant found safe after car theft, police say. Hunters bag 8% fewer deer in quiet firearm season. PD, student in custody after stealing school bus. Athlete sidelined by blood clot inspires doctors. Neighbor catches girl tossed from window at burning building. Civic Center under consideration for murder trials. One transported after car slams into store. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. U.S. considers tougher rules for travelers amid growing concern about Omicron. 15-year-old is in custody after shooting. How 2 flights to Europe may have spurred spread of new variant. Vaccine hesitancy hurts COVID fight in poorer countries. Cars keep getting smarter. Do they have to look so boring? Build Back Better Act would patch holes in health coverage. While politics consumes school board meetings, a very different crisis festers. Where the pro-choice movement went wrong. Big tech amplification, what does that mean? In China, buying the toy gun could get you arrested. The following headlines are from the 6th most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. Supreme Court hearing oral arguments in case that could overturn landmark abortion ruling in Roe v. Wade. Judges dubious of Trump lawyers and Apis, claims in major case on January 6 committee documents, and Apis, one president at a time and Apis. Understanding the abortion industry and Apis' greatest lie. Cuomo advisor claimed Atlantic journalist turned CNN reporter was and Apis, on our side and Apis, during harassment scandal. Christmas 2021 travel, 112 million people will journey for holidays, survey says. Our country is skeptical about whether and Apis, America is back, and Apis, more uncertain about U.S. global leadership. Suspect extradited to Colorado from Ecuador to face 126 sexual assault charges, authorities say. Steelers and Apis, Mike Tomlin fires back at Chase Claypool who wants music played during practice. CNN and Apis, Chris Cuomo off-air and Apis, indefinitely and Apis, after revelations from New York AG and Apis, probe into brother. Mississippi governor says scientific advances have bolstered chance abortion ban will succeed at SCOTUS. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, December 1st. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. GP's workload will be slashed to focus on new national mission booster drive. Johanna Konta announces shock retirement from tennis at the age of 30. Commuters say more people are wearing face coverings on tube. Siobhan Cadogan, Scotland international rugby player tragically dies age 26. Paul Scholes admits he feared he would have to place his non-verbal autistic son, 16, in care. Social media user shares snaps of office pranks. Feline free, secret the cat rides up front as cyclist explores London streets, video. Cash-strapped Camden Council spent 10,000 of taxpayers' cash on inclusive trans road crossings. Wreckage of 100 F-35 fighter jet that toppled off HMS Queen Elizabeth is found. New COVID self-isolation rules will be in law until March. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Taliban wages campaign of targeted killings against former members of Afghan security forces. Brazil's far-right Bolsonaro reaches for an unlikely title, President of the Poor. Nigeria detects first case of Omicron variant from October. Portugal tightens restrictions despite virus vaccine success. Japan suspends new reservations on all incoming flights. Indian man builds one-third size Taj Mahal replica for wife. Showtime beats Baron Van Ripper off for Japan's Word of the Year. Killer robots may be coming. New Zealand wants to stop them. Saudis detect first case of new coronavirus variant Omicron. Death threats, mock hangings and a used condom, anti-vaxxers target Australian politicians. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's U.S. news feed. OECD warns inflation surge could undermine global recovery, Business Live. COVID news live, Germany warned over intensive care unit capacity, Nigeria identifies Omicron in sample from October. Ilhan Omar airs death threat and presses Republicans on anti-Muslim hatred. 1,500 unhoused LA residents died on the streets during pandemic, report reveals. Alice Ebolds publisher pulls memoir after overturned rape conviction. Unmasked, the Joker saves world from COVID in Danny DeVito's Batman story. Rita Moreno, just a girl who decided to go for it review, vampish and sharp as a stiletto. How Pearl Harbor stopped the birth of the LA Browns and changed baseball history. Ghislaine Maxwell was present when Jeffrey Epstein abused me, accuser testifies. Severe COVID infection doubles chances of dying in following year, study finds. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Why you shouldn't wait for tweaked vaccine to get a booster. Japan suspends new flight reservations as Omicron spreads. U.S. Korea to bolster alliance talks but questions remain. Avalanche delays holiday tradition in Alaska's largest city. 3 killed, 8 hurt in shooting at Michigan high school. City still waiting for its first snowfall, breaking record. New way climate change is affecting animal species. CNN suspends Chris Cuomo for helping brother in scandal. Company stops selling baby monitoring smart socks after FDA warning. Man accused of discharging gun in airport turns himself into police. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. Alice Ebold apologizes to men cleared of her rape. Mike Pence asks Supreme Court to overturn abortion rights. Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein pilot testifies he flew Prince Andrew. Michigan school shooting, worst kind of tragedy, says sheriff. Michigan school shooting, student kills 3 and wounds 8. Air quality, Delhi records worst November air in years. Howard Springs, Australia police arrest quarantine escapees. Xiomara Castro, Honduras votes in first female president. Facebook reverses Kyle Rittenhouse search policy. Mississippi, how a legal challenge could upend abortion rights. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. FedEx debacle, driver dumped packages into Alabama ravine at least 6 times, police say. U.S. expected to toughen testing requirement for travelers after Omicron, latest COVID-19 updates. Calls to defund the police clash with reality for many Americans, city polls show. Showbiz Minute, Abla, Songs, Scott. AP Top Stories December 1st day. Mourners pack church to grieve shooting victims. Sheriff, gun bug 4 days before school shooting. At least 3 students dead, 8 injured in Michigan high school shooting, father of suspect purchased gun, authorities say. Just about all of Oxford hurts, community prays for peace in wake of Michigan high school shooting. Northwest Boulder town floods twice in 2 weeks. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Elderly woman found dead in Chatsworth mobile home fire. State appeals court rejects long-standing challenge to California bullet train. Woman walking on 110 freeway in Highland Park is killed in early morning crash. Amazon delivery driver carjacked in San Pedro, packages stolen. Crush of last-minute applications crashes UC, Cal State computers, deadlines are extended. LA County has no plans for an Omicron lockdown. Snow or not, Big Bear ski slopes opening this week. LA City Council votes to ban ghost guns. Op-ed, Japan demands COVID tests and tracking. California, not so much, which is right. U.S. Appeals Court upholds California's ban on large-capacity firearms magazines. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. French Parliament passes resolution supporting Taiwan's participation in global organizations. Thousands of bees make it out alive after being buried by La Palma volcano ash for 50 days. Severe COVID infection doubles chances of dying in following year, study. Former PM Abe says Japan, U.S. could not stand by if China attacked Taiwan. Elon Musk says Starlink satellites have dodged debris from Russia's anti-satellite missile test. Huge Roman mosaic depicting scenes from the Iliad found beneath UK field teams from Historic England and the University of Leicester Archaeological Services, ULIS, excavated the site and discovered the first Roman mosaic depicting scenes from the Iliad ever found in the United Kingdom. Greece to fine people over 60 who have not been vaccinated. Inquiry finds widespread sexism in Australian Parliament. Russia will act if NATO countries cross Ukraine red lines, Putin says. Ex-member guilty of genocide for chaining up Yazidi girl to die in the sun. Indigenous community saves Colombia's poison dart frog from coca and logging. Russia issues threat to GPS satellites. As Russia masses its troops, Canadian soldiers in Eastern Europe keep watch. MI6, China becomes single greatest focus for intelligence service as country accused of large-scale espionage operations against UK. The next headlines are from Forbes. Severe COVID-19 doubles risk of death in the year after illness, study finds. With one of the world's highest vaccination rates, Singapore bucks trend to live with COVID despite Omicron. By the numbers, meet the Forbes Under 30 class of 2022. Meet the Forbes Under 30 leading the green energy transition. From gourmet toast to breakfast burritos, these are the under 30 food and drink listers redefining chain restaurants. Powering their way into the e-bike boom. NFL broadcasts and an odd from 007, how Chris Swag Lamberson is changing the gaming creator economy. From podcasters to political journalists, meet the 30 under 30 in media 2022. Most parents use infant formula, so why hasn't the recipe changed in decades? 30 under 30 2022, meet the athletes, founders and executives pushing sports forward. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Industry scores higher than academia for job satisfaction. BRICS nations are collaborating on science but need a bigger global platform. What humanity should eat to stay healthy and save the planet. Pandemic mental health and Eurasia's oldest jewelry. Daily briefing, multicellular living robots build their own offspring. The United States needs a Department of Technology and Science policy. China's Mars rover has amassed reams of novel geological data. Collaborate equitably in ancient DNA research and beyond. From the archive. Animal experiments, EU is pushing to find substitutes fast. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,748,203,622 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. European Film Awards cancel physical event as COVID-19 fears mount. Meekanzine swoops on international rights to Mariano Biasin's Ventanas title Sublime exclusive. Netflix, ES Spotlight Project pitch contests at Ventana Sur Solo Series, finalists vying for the top prizes. Legendary NBA player Drazen Petrovic to be portrayed in biopic exclusive. Kuok Mengru's Bent Lab Technologies reinvented as Caldecott Music. Sport 24 re-ups deal for UEFA Champions League, Europa League through to 2024. Beach House Pictures, Clover Films and Netflix receiving Singapore government support. IKEA International unveils first Thai original, 5 series from Malaysia. Jimmy Kimmel offers impassioned defense of Dr. Anthony Fauci amid further criticism from conservative figures. A Hamptons mansion owned by Adrian Brody's character in Succession has sold for $45 million. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. These women speak candidly about their abortions. Here's what they want you to know. After the Rust movie set shooting, investigators look into the ammo supplier. Supreme Court considers whether to reverse Roe v. Wade in historic arguments. This Supreme Court case could make abortion more restricted across the U.S. Center-left group claims Democrats' spending package would save families thousands. Democracy is declining in the U.S. but it's not all bad news, report finds. Elizabeth Holmes grilled by prosecutors on witness stand in her criminal fraud trial. Pfizer wants the FDA to let 16 and 17-year-olds get a COVID-19 booster shot. CNN suspends Chris Cuomo indefinitely over his role in his brother's defense. Alice Ebold apologizes to the man exonerated in the rape that her memoir focused on. The following headlines are from The Week. Biden nearly ended the drone war, and nobody noticed. What if trauma isn't real? The most eco-conscious generation, Gen Z's fashion fixation suggests otherwise. The history and gravity of Hanukkah in the White House. Late-night hosts chase down Omicron conspiracy theories, defend Dr. Fauci from Fox News and Friends. Honduras ruling party concedes, crowning leftist candidate Xiomara Castro president-elect. Minnesota woman uses handmade cards to help friends through tough times. British patient receives world's first 3D printed prosthetic eye. GOP's Kevin McCarthy fails to end epic feud between Reps Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy Mace. To celebrate his 90th birthday, skydiver makes 9 jumps in 4 hours. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. A Texas town stopped an energy giant from drilling next to a daycare, but it's trying to start up again. Beyond Books in Pottsboro. The next headlines are from Universe Today. InSight peers deep below the surface on Mars. Astronauts took a fly around the International Space Station. Here are their stunning pictures. NASA simulation shows what happens when stars get too close to black holes. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, December 1st. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Audubon Christmas bird count starts December 14th. Waning moon meets Zubin el-Janubi morning of December 2nd. Nearby habitable planets at Alpha Centauri. Dark nebulae, obscuring clouds of gas and dust. The next news is from Politico. Vaccines versus Omicron, the next big test in the pandemic. Hundreds of House districts are being redrawn. Here's who's winning and losing. NATO warns Russia of high price for any attack on Ukraine. European Union accused of trying to cancel Christmas. European Union makes late bid to rival China on the Silk Road. Sudanese general warns country could be source of refugee influx to U.S., Europe. When Dr. Oz went to the Senate. Congress closes in on sexual misconduct reform, 4 years after its Me Too moment. How one state's thirst for justice created a humanitarian crisis in its prisons. Anger sets in among Dems as voting rights push stalls. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Tom Drapajevic caps stunning season with Brad Fittler medal. Hail and heavy rain pummel Melbourne. Former SA Premier Jay Weatherill tests positive for COVID-19. How to stop stress from floods affecting unborn babies and their mums. Story Bridge alteration to get maintenance rolling. 3 men went on trial for murder but only one has been convicted. Major UNIS go it alone on jab mandates amid calls for state to take charge. Economic recovery hinges on $400 billion in household and business savings. Keeping up with the Barbaras. As it happened, Christian Porter to retire from federal politics. Omicron COVID-19 cases grow in NSW as exposure sites listed in Sydney, Central Coast. Victorian pandemic bill debate continues. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Brett Aarons is raw, how the Marx brothers beat your 401k again. Market snapshot, December set to start with gains, as Dow futures jump 300 points after sell-off. One group of Americans claim to tip more during the holiday season, and they're not millennials. Facing the biggest inflation surge in 30 years, shoppers expect to spend a lot more this holiday season. We are just going to play it slow. Facebook, Wells Fargo monitoring Omicron closely ahead of planned January 2022 return to offices. Financial crime, Texas fraudster sentenced for stealing $1.60 in COVID-19 relief money to pay for Lamborghini, strip club visits. Keywords, don't freak out, Omicron is bound to disrupt supply chains. The question is, how bad will it be? NerdWallet, will your insurance cover these winter home disasters? NerdWallet, how to avoid long lines at the airport, without paying for it. Next Avenue, did we learn anything from the pandemic? If it doesn't turn the tide on nursing homes, then shame on us. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Dark money group paid former Trump AG to ask for pardons, and he never registered as a lobbyist, the Daily Beast. OLX avoid patent infringement, intellectual property, India, Mondak News alerts. Revised royalties for broadcasting sound recordings, intellectual property, India, Mondak News alerts. Patent outlook, remodeling healthcare with AI, commentary, Lixology. IP challengers lose invalidation bids after 101-day fight, Law 360. Jow Global, Employment Agreement, Form 6K, MarketScreener.com. What the Moderna COVID vaccine patent fight means for research, Nature.com. Arteris announces financial results for the third quarter 2021 and estimated fourth quarter and full year 2021 guidance, Globe Newswire. Lexit brings exciting NFT racing collaboration to 24th Annual Machel Petty Le Mans in Atlanta, GA with Milner and Lewis, SpeedwayMedia.com. Google Doodle, honors Professor Lotfi Zadeh of UC Berkeley, the father of fuzzy logic, who was also an inventor in a cognitive explainable AI, artificial intelligence, 3D image recognition software startup Zach, PR Newswire. The next headlines are from Quartz. Judge blocks Biden's vaccine mandate. Is India's GDP calculation now a statistical sleight of hand? Modi wanted to reverse brain drain, but Indians continue to give up their passports in droves. How to read the decline in online sales on Cyber Monday. Being a bit too busy at work isn't an accident, it's a goal. Barbados' separation from the British monarchy is reviving calls for reparations. Global warning. Omicron shows the danger of treating coronavirus like an emergency. Omicron isn't stopping New York's next mayor from his spiritual visit to Ghana. Japanese whiskey, one steep sip. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Miramax survives copyright dispute over Pulp Fiction poster initiated by opportunistic photographer. The bad apples control the bunch. USA Today report details law enforcement's punishment of good cops. Tech Dirt Podcast Episode 307, Evolving Norms in the Governance of Online Communities. Silly, pandering politicians introduce silly, pandering cyber Grinch law that would ban buying bots. Department of Justice asks 10th Circuit Appeals Court to firmly establish a right to record police officers. Daily Deal, the 2021 all-in-one computer science bundle. Biden's broadband push is good, but crappy maps and lobbying can still screw things up. Indonesian court gives the government permission to pull the plug on the internet whenever it feels threatened. Nordic Track patches out God mode in treadmills that allowed users to watch anything on its display. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Lakers vs. Kings. Warriors. Duke basketball. George Michael. Purdue basketball. Adele Vegas tickets. Aaron Carter. Josephine Baker. DRIs. Emma Coronel Ice Bureau. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Russian men arrested for pretending to be girls on dating websites. These are not competitive games, farces international women's football match ends 20-0. World's most expensive city named, and it's a shocker. Japan wants US bases to ground fighter jets. Beijing is warned not to commit economic suicide. No more free coffee for Berlin's unvaxxed. Russian aggression in Ukraine will lead to serious consequences, US. Trump speaks out about Meghan Markle and royal family feud. Gucci family reveal what they don't like about Ridley Scott's film. COVID-19 quarantine escapees arrested after manhunt. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. EU official warns of rolling blackouts as energy crisis worsens. Warmongers would let Ukraine become World War III. Belarus proposes to host Russian nukes if NATO expands its arsenal. Health boss tells Brits not to socialize over Christmas. Finnish electricity prices jump 5x amid unseasonably cold weather and worsening energy crisis. Germany's new chancellor says mandatory COVID jabs necessary to contain fourth wave. Escobar, Fauci is Darth Vader of the COVID wars. Russian forces are growing. In Russia, Pentagon awkwardly downplays Ukraine invasion hype. Pentagon orders new probe into Syria airstrike that killed dozens of civilians. US may impose new Omicron-inspired travel restrictions as more cases confirmed in Canada. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Peru, archaeologists say unearthed mummy could be 1,200 years old. Belarus's Lukashenko says annexed Crimea is legally Russian. Ethiopian government says it retook string of towns from Tigray forces. India's cryptocurrency enthusiasts call New Delhi's bluff on ban. U.S. health panel endorses Merck's COVID-19 pill. Ilhan Omar reveals death threat in wake of Islamophobic comments. Interfaith lover risk amid India's Hindu nationalist surge. A Taliban ban on women in the workforce can cost economy $1 billion. New Zealand to send troops to quell unrest in Solomon Islands. Why are white elites afraid of black babies? The next headlines are from Breitbart. Clinton Foundation donations hit lowest point in a decade, down 75% since 2016. Pelosi staffer mask shames Republicans hours before Bush spotted maskless at event. LeBron James enters NBA virus health and safety protocols, skips Tuesday night game. Miss Kentucky eliminates first trans contestant, wins woke Miss USA pageant. Frito is gone, Trump celebrates Chris Cuomo's suspension from CNN. College swimmer who competed as man now dominating women's category after identifying as female. Exclusive photos, Nancy Pelosi goes maskless at crowded D.C. event. Exclusive, Sarah Palin, Biden should have taken my advice 13 years ago, America needs to drill, baby, drill. Los Angeles Police Department scandal after 44 guns discovered missing from gun store. Chicago detective, Jussie Smollett scheduled meeting on the low, paid for supplies, held dry run before attack. The next headlines are from UPI News. Heart surgery patient receives $1 lottery ticket and get well card. Watch, wrong number text gets high school team a video call with the Buccaneers. Australian family returns to their car to find python on the rearview mirror. Watch, raccoon rescued from peanut butter jar at Iowa tennis court. Louisiana store pleads for return of missing giant gummy bear statue. Newborn kittens rescued from Utah storm drain during rainstorm. Watch, goat escapes from city-owned herd, wanders town for 4 days. Watch, Turkish man's 3.46-inch nose earns Guinness World Records title. Watch, deer rescued from thin ice covering Ontario Lake. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Jaguars in Mexico are growing in number, a promising sign that conservation strategies are working. Blind hockey goalie invited to play onside a team, an incredible experience. Ponds of poo used for clean power in Australian pork and beef production. Thousands have donated $1.6 million to innocent man freed from prison after 43-year wrongful conviction. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, December 1st. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. 16-point deer harvested in Missouri turns out to be doe. Merriam-Webster chooses vaccine as the 2021 word of the year. A juror was excused from the Ghislaine Maxwell trial after his spouse surprised him with a last-minute Christmas vacation. They called their band Omicron, now they're sharing the name with a COVID variant. Germany, burglars knock hole in wall to steal Lego bricks. IKEA renting out tiny Tokyo apartment for under $1 a month. Barbados officially declares Rihanna a national hero. An Alabama woman who says she was falsely arrested for shoplifting at a Walmart and then threatened by the company after her case was dismissed has been awarded $2.1 million in damages. Fired employees sue Google for breaching Don't Be Evil part of contract. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. What will happen when Elon Musk's Gigafactory faces the worst? Wait, so now I cannot tweet photos of other people on Twitter? How to achieve sustainable hypergrowth, learn, unlearn, and relearn. I wish these translucent AirPods weren't just prototypes. 7 practical gift ideas for the e-bike rider in your life. Google's teaching AI to see and hear at the same time, here's why that matters. Qualcomm's betting on AI to take on Apple and Google's chips. Dear CEOs, you're getting ripped off by legal AI scams. Twitter's new CEO faces irresolvable tensions between free speech and moderation. Sorry, AI isn't going to stop the spread of fake news. The following headlines are from Science Daily. Bringing 400-million-year-old fossilized armored worms to virtual life. Synthetic tissue can repair hearts, muscles, and vocal cords. Brief presence of water in Arabia Terra on Mars. Summer rains in American Southwest are not your typical monsoon. Holistic framework can assess fishery strengths and potential weaknesses. Time crystal in a quantum computer. As LA traffic slowed amid the pandemic, researchers gained new insight into air pollution. Ubiquitous food additive alters human microbiota and intestinal environment. Extraordinary Roman mosaic and villa discovered beneath farmer's field in Rutland, UK. Reshaping the plastic life cycle into a circle. The next headlines are from Information Week. Global Tech Policy Briefing for November 2021, Banking, Broadband, and Big Tech. The Cost of a Ransomware Attack, Part 1, The Ransom. When is it okay to miss an IT project deadline? This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, December 1st from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA TV2 AirX pre-launch activities, launch. NASA sets live launch coverage for laser communications demonstration. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Diesel spills into storm drain in downtown Salt Lake City. How 9 books started a fight over censorship and pornography in this Utah school district. A woman is ending her terminal, yet joyful, cancer journey with a special mark on Utah's Festival of Trees. College football playoff, Bayou, Utah football both rise in the rankings. U.S. expected to toughen testing requirement for travelers amid spread of new Omicron variant. As Omicron variant of COVID-19 grabs attention, a doctor warns that Delta is still hitting Utah hard. Jana Reese, my new way of paying LDS tithing has given me a new perspective. Uinta Basin is hemorrhaging methane as leaks go undetected. Another 20 Utahns have died from COVID-19, including a young adult in Salt Lake County. The Salt Lake Tribune announces new project to support diverse journalism. The next headlines are from Slashdot, Tech News for Nerds. Wanted, a town willing to host a dump for U.S. nuclear waste. Princeton team disables long-targeted gene behind spread of major cancers. Over 300,000 Android users have downloaded these banking Trojan malware apps, say security researchers. Browser extension shows how many brands on Amazon are actually just Amazon. Massive startup wants to rent your spare compute power to pay for apps. The virtual phone farm scammers used to set up fake accounts. Microsoft adds buy now, pay later financing option to Edge, and everyone hates it. Cyber Monday online sales fall for the first time ever. FBI document shows what data can be obtained from encrypted messaging apps. SpaceX's Starlink is testing internet service for aircraft. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. East St. Louis Recycling Center on fire for second time in less than a week. Who will get the lion's share of the Rams' $790 settlement with St. Louis? St. Louis County to spend $500K for more security at jail. Mask confusion intensifies after St. Louis County removes order from website. St. Louis County Council votes not to confirm Khan as permanent health director. One injured after home explosion in St. Louis County. Video shows semi-truck dragging car down Illinois highway. Rare shot, Monroe County hunter harvests antlered doe. St. Louis County mom pleads for safe return of missing 14-year-old daughter. Where did they go? New story of a Missouri mom, teens who disappeared decades ago. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. San Diego groups react to court's ruling to uphold high-capacity magazine ban. Black job applicant files claim alleging dreadlocks kept him from being hired. More flights delayed at San Diego airport as patchy fog in the forecast. Unvaccinated SDPD officers face city's vaccine mandate deadline. Mother refuses to think the worst after daughter from Indiana goes missing in San Diego. Eleanor Roy disappearance, tips what in case of missing Fallbrook woman. Man gets probation for arson fire in La Mesa Chase Bank. CNN suspends Chris Cuomo for helping brother in scandal. Pentagon chief, National Guard who refused COVID vaccine cannot train. 3 students killed, 6 others wounded at a Michigan school, authorities say. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. The first Lithuanian hybrid all-terrain vehicle Krampus Mk1 successfully completed field tests. The next headlines are from SUP China, top news about China. The real battle at Lake Changchun. China wants higher vaccination rate among seniors, but hesitant people say Beijing is too pushy. China promises 1 billion vaccine doses for Africa. The growing rift between Europe and China. Solomon Islands leader blames other powers for violent Chinatown protests. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. 2 men assault 9-year-old boy with autism while asleep in his bed, Gilroy police. Family remembers 28-year-old man killed in Oakland while trying to stop car break-in. Thieves break in, throw party at new San Francisco restaurant. Helping nonprofits on Giving Tuesday. Walnut Creek considers hiring additional police officers to patrol downtown. Why some are calling organized retail robbery borderline domestic terrorism. Video, house fire reported in Daly City. Thousands of diapers stolen from Solano County nonprofit organization. 2 arrested for attempting to steal fire hydrant from Napa Walmart parking lot. Man dies while canyoneering at Zion National Park, 2 others rescued. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Bez to Detroit, MLB teams race to finish fees before lockout. Councilman Andre Dickens wins Atlanta mayor race over more. Arlington Heights Funeral Home going hybrid for annual remembrance ceremony this year. Authorities, student kills 3, wounds 8 at Michigan school. Developer trying again for affordable housing in Palatine. Leftist wins Honduran presidential vote after rival concedes. Illinois tallies 595 COVID-19 deaths in November. Mount Prospect police selling controversial former uniform patch for charity. Aurora police searching for missing 14-year-old girl. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Wayfair to open corporate office in Seattle in 2022, hire more than 200 tech employees. Sound Transit, construction on Linwood Link extension at Halfway Point. King County launches community survey to help reimagine public safety in 2022. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone 221, population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Peru, Paraguay, Uruguay. Drought is ongoing in Angola, Democratic Republic of Congo. Drought is ongoing in Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan. Drought is ongoing in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Angola. Drought is ongoing in Democratic Republic of Congo, Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Chile. Drought is ongoing in United States. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, December 1st in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Student shoots, kills 3, injures 8 at high school in Oxford Township, Michigan. Dense fog advisory through 9 a.m. Man accused of spying on female roommate with bathroom camera and tracker, it's creepy. Abortion rights at stake in historic Supreme Court arguments over Mississippi law. U.S. moving to toughen COVID testing requirement for travelers amid Omicron concerns. Suspects demanded $3,000 before shooting Lyft driver, wife says. Student kills 3, wounds 8 at Michigan's Oxford High School, authorities. Houston police searching for burglar who broke into daycare and drove off with van. Growing pile of trash in Kashmir Gardens cleaned up after push for action. Michelle meets the parents during hometowns, and your next bachelor revealed. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Biden HIV strategy calls racism public health threat. Hive updates, Portugal orders measures to fight virus surge. Tamkang University professor shares pride of being second-generation migrant. UN Migration Agency, COVID has radically altered mobility. Global shares mostly rise despite mounting Omicron worries. NATO debates the lessons of mission creep in Afghanistan. EU decides against emergency summit on Omicron for now. As lawmakers mull curbs on social media, Haugen weighing in. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. CUNY SPS, meet interim dean Jorge Silvacuras. MTA continues to use honor system for tracking hours, despite history of abuse. Extra, Lorne Michaels has big plans for SNL's 50th anniversary. Why it could take 2 weeks to learn if Omicron impacts COVID-19 vaccines. Did de Blasio make a dent in the tale of two cities? A new analysis of NYC income inequality makes a case. New legislation, supported by Eric Adams, would allow propane heaters for outdoor dining. Brooklyn judge curbs defendants' rights to challenge DAs on evidence sharing. Early edition, the time Bradley Cooper got held up at knife point on a subway platform. The Great Burmese Bites finds a home at Queens Center Mall. After years of delay, NYC opens first supervised injection sites in U.S. to fight opioid overdoses. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. Inequality is set to kill millions, we have to fight it together. How inequality drives HIV in adolescent girls and young women. Fighting loss of the Greater Mekong's prized rosewood forests. Battle to end HIV, COVID, demands greater international solidarity. Israel-Palestine, risk of deadly escalation in violence, without decisive action. How to tackle the femicide epidemic. World trade reaches all-time high, but 2022 outlook uncertain, UNCTAD. Workers with HIV/AIDS continue to face stigma, discrimination, ILO. UN chief, global vaccination plan is only way out of the pandemic. Series of appalling deadly attacks on displaced people in Dr. Congo. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. New variant hysteria comes from same institution that popularized lockdowns and previous COVID scares. Barbados becomes a republic and removes Queen Elizabeth II as head of state. Backed by Africom, corporations plunder Dr. Congo for climate-friendly materials and blame China. Ghislaine Maxwell's attorney refers to former astronaut senator who flew on Jeffrey Epstein's Lolita Express. The FAA accidentally disclosed more than 2,000 flight records associated with Jeffrey Epstein's private jets. Greece imposes $114 monthly fine on unvaccinated people over 60. On day 1, new Twitter CEO uses fake trending tab to run PR for himself, bans sharing media of private individuals without permission. Who gains from Ethiopia-Tigray war? Detroit school shooting, 3 killed, more injured, shooter in custody, officials say. Scientists have created the first ever living robots that can reproduce. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Author Alice Sebold apologizes to man cleared in 1981 rape. Does pic show Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell with the Pope? FDA panel backs first-of-a-kind COVID-19 pill from Merck. Celebrity surgeon Dr. Oz running for Senate in Pennsylvania. Yes, Pete Buttigieg said families who buy electric cars never have to worry about gas prices again. Authorities, student kills 3, wounds 6 at Michigan school. Ancient juniper trees illegally cut in New Mexico monument. It's official, Rihanna's right excellent in Barbados. Woods says a return to the top not a realistic expectation. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Media allowed to attend Ghislaine Maxwell's trial, contrary to social media posts. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. These sheets feel like you're wrapped up in huge flannel pajamas. Trump tested positive for COVID before Biden debate, not after, says his ex-chief of staff. 2022's most hotly anticipated movies and TV shows, from The Batman to a Game of Thrones prequel. Dark money group paid former Trump AG to ask for pardons, and he never registered as a lobbyist. Mariah Carey would like you to date me for Christmas. Dr. Oz's sick journey from political joke to Senate candidate. HIV/AIDS orgs, Dababy ghosted us and didn't donate a dime. There's only one surefire way to stop variants like Omicron. The big MAGA and QAnon civil war keeps getting nuttier and slazier. The one crisis where Biden is getting high marks. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Police officer, 2 other victims killed in wild Georgia shooting. Reggie Miller's advice to James Harden bites Knicks. Oxford High School shooting in Michigan. Florida police searching for answers in mysterious killing of 14-year-old. Knicks lost because of Kevin Durant, not the referees. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. Ask Astro are meteorites radioactive? Space law hasn't been changed since 1967. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. U.S. braces for arrival of Omicron variant. Researchers race to assess the new Omicron variant. 2021 Atlantic hurricane season was the most expensive on record. NASA reschedules spacewalk due to possible risk from space debris. Omicron variant was in Europe before South Africa raised the alarm. Biden, new Omicron COVID variant cause for concern not a cause for panic. Scientists who first sequenced Omicron on what they are seeing. NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins on the risks posed by the Omicron variant. Omicron, what we know, and don't know, about the new COVID variant. Scientists who helped discover Omicron variant warns of its potential. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Russ star Hannah Gutierrez Reed's father provides new theory on how Liv Ammo got on set. Founder and CEO of Christian Evangelical Network Daystar dies of COVID after proselytizing against vaccines. Rabbi Ilhan Omar denounces anti-Muslim attacks. We cannot pretend that this hate speech from leading politicians doesn't have real consequences. Texas man gets 9 years for using payment protection program loans for Lamborghini and Rolex. Chris Cuomo suspended from CNN for role in brother's sexual harassment defense. FDA panel tepidly endorses Merck's COVID-19 treatment bill. Schumer, Pelosi hustle to avoid government shutdown on Friday. Student kills 3, wounds 8 in Michigan high school shooting. Fed Chairman Powell spooks Wall Street with plans to pull back low interest rates amid latest COVID variant worries. Ex-college football star Otis Anderson Jr. killed by his father in Florida over dog bite, police say. The following headlines are from military.com. Nearly 9,000 Marines didn't get vaccinated by the deadline. Many risk getting kicked out of the Corps. Oklahoma Guard paychecks under threat as vaccine battle with Pentagon escalates. Weekly testing mandated for U.S. sailors who haven't been immunized against coronavirus. Navy reservist from Texas's latest service member to die from COVID-19. U.S. Special Forces have a rough, little-known way to get to missions. Racial disparities in VA benefits advocates say are rampant, set to get watchdog probe. Lawmakers are worried a major military justice overhaul is going to get stopped. Putin warns West, Moscow has red line about Ukraine, NATO. NATO warns Russia to avoid costly mistake in Ukraine. MI6 spy chief says China, Russia, Iran top UK threat list. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. Barry White, the Chicken Lady and the Long Road Home, how a Cook County Sheriff's Initiative reunited a missing man with his family. Column, the Insult to Columnist Holiday Food Drive is back, with a shot at celebrity Zoom chats, to help with a lot of need. U.S. Rep. Sean Casten gets backing of colleagues Foster and Schneider in primary bid against Marie Newman. I am making this statement so everyone else knows, they will not get away with this, text from Jussie Smollett to focus on second day of his trial. Small explosion ignites fires at steel plant in Burns Harbor. North Shore may take action against workers with religious objections to COVID-19 vaccine mandate as case is underway, judge decides. Unvaccinated students can test their way out of COVID-19 quarantine in new Chicago public schools pilot program. Once-a-decade Chicago ward remap still in flux, city has yet to release a favorite proposal despite Wednesday deadline. Woman charged after shot fired outside Gizmo's Fun Factory in Orland Park. Leonard Sherman, real estate exec, movie theater owner and forceful advocate for Israel and Jewish causes, dies at 97. The following headlines are from FIS.org. CT uncovers bone disease in Tyrannosaurus rex jaw. New computational approach predicts chemical reactions at high temperatures. Tel Aviv ranked world's priciest city for first time. Peru archaeologists find mummy up to 1,200 years old. Scientists to map fungal networks, determine climate role. Researchers generate, for the first time, a vortex beam of atoms and molecules. Domestic violence goes unrecognized in faith communities. Echolocation builds prediction models of prey movement. Changing weather patterns mix up the size, duration of annual Chesapeake Bay dead zone. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, December 1st, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. The 25 best dog food for bulldogs. 50 years ago, a forgotten mission landed on Mars. The 2021 Atlantic hurricane season was a doozy. Preservation work begins on dugout canoe found at the bottom of Wisconsin's Lake Mendota. How do you tell a Neanderthal from a Denisovan? How Glenlivet whiskey became the crucial component in greener electronic elements. AI is learning to manipulate us, and we don't know exactly how. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. England all-rounder Stokes fit and hungry head of Ashes. China lashes out at Abe over former leader's Taiwan warning. Fatal shooting after Tennessee high school basketball games. Biden HIV AIDS strategy calls racism public health threat. 4 killed, including officer and suspect, in Georgia shooting. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Horoscopes December 1, 2021, Betty Midler, be direct and you'll prosper. Peter Trianta says fear is a killer of dreams. Word game, December 1, 2021. Bridge, December 1, 2021. Ask Amy, they accidentally sent me an email about my partner. Ravens film study, the most surprising part of QB Lamar Jackson's struggles, where they're happening. Harriet Cole, she makes bad choices, and her own daughter lets it happen. Miss Manners, the gift he always gives me arouses my snark. Most unique CBD edible products to try today. Dear Abby, must I tell his family what I'm going to do with his ashes? The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Lauren Boebert appropriate punishment sought by Muslim lawmakers. Senator Jeanne Shaheen predicts revolution if Supreme Court overturns Roe v. Wade. Pentagon Global Posture Review blasted for lack of China action. Smollett trial brings back modern-day lynching tweet to haunt Kamala Harris. Judge extends block of Biden vaccine mandate for health workers nationwide. De Blasio touts city-approved sites for supervised use of heroin, drugs. Lawmakers fume over U.S. pandemic relief funds pilfered by crime gangs in China, Russia. Former Southern Baptist head Merritt quits seminary role after report of racist joke. CNN suspends Chris Cuomo. Inside the Beltway, Herschel Walker, America's worth fighting for. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Texas troopers opened fire from a helicopter in 2012. Families are still fighting to hold them accountable. Human rights groups call on Pentagon to reinvestigate civilian deaths in Yemen. He declined the FBI's offer to become an informant, then his life was ruined. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, December 1, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. 7 shot Tuesday in Chicago. Man shot to death in Woodlawn, police. Horoscope for Wednesday, December 1, 2021. Northwestern falls in overtime to host Wake Forest. Michael O'Brien's high school basketball notebook. Lamont shakes off inexperience, wins at Sandburg. At Senator Durbin event for Mayor Lightfoot, GOP Rep Rodney Davis swings by and makes bold prediction. Notre Dame AD Jack Swarbrick not surprised at Coach Brian Kelly's departure as search for replacement opens. Omicron on the horizon, COVID-19 hospitalizations hit nearly 10-month high as latest variant looms, we need to be serious. First of 4 accusers take stand at Ghislaine Maxwell trial. The next headlines are from the Times of India. Investing in crypto? Avoid these 5 mistakes. Australians have immense mental strength, Saba Karim. Lick, all we know about India's biggest IPO. Omicron threat, regular international flights not to resume from December 15. India face welcome dilemma with return of Kohli. Kamal Hassan recovers from COVID-19. Unethical if Rahul was approached by new teams, Punjab Kings. Pandemic effect, India incorporated CSR spend is down 64% in a year. Elgar Parashad, HC grants default bail to Sudha Bharadwaj. Induction water heaters, how they work and more. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, December 1, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. The case for Andre Johnson to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Return to Willie's for Texas toast sandwiches. This week's best concerts. Things to do, Red Bull Sound Clash, The Suffers and Tank and the Band has. Time to unsubscribe from unwanted emails. Things to do, listen to There's a Light by Mark Stein of Vanilla Fudge. Anatomy of Houston Texans lost to New York Jets. The next headlines are about world records making news. Swimming World December 2021 presents 2021 World Swimmers of the Year, Caleb Dressel and Emma McKeon, available now, Swimming World Magazine. Awards, the early years, Athletics Weekly. Saudi Arabian GP knocks down Ferrari's Guinness World Record ahead of Jeddah F1 race, essentially sports. Alonso World Record for double skips recognized by Guinness, Sports Interactive Network Philippines. Watch, this man broke a 10-year Guinness World Record for the loudest burp, moneycontrol.com. Charles Wang Foundation makes record-breaking $40 million donation to his alma mater, Wuhan University, PR Newswire. Pacman speedrunner sets brilliant diamond and shining pearl world record at 23:13. Esports. Bike at bedtime, could this be the world's fastest bike? No, really, Road CC. Ellen White breaks record as merciless England thrash Latvia 20-0, The Guardian. The top performances from the 2021 ISL playoffs, SwimSwam. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. President Trump tested positive for COVID-19 several days before official diagnosis. Google must turn over docs connected to secret anti-union campaign, judge rules. So Dune and Star Wars filmmakers walk into a bar. Boy, Netflix sure has a lot of nerd stuff coming in 2022. Microsoft's ugly holiday sweater is a hideous ode to Minesweeper, and I need it. Qualcomm aims to kick off a new era of mobile computing with Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. Yes, the Beatles wanted to make Lord of the Rings movies. Don't charge your Pixel 6 with just any old cable. Elon Musk frantically warns employees of potential SpaceX bankruptcy. Microsoft keeps making its Edge browser worse for some reason. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Marble Bar in Australia at 114.08 degrees Fahrenheit or 45.6 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Delayankir in Russia at minus 68.08 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 55.6 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Stare into the abyss of a swirling black hole with this lead monolith installation. Microsoft shareholders back protest vote over sexual harassment claims. Womp, efficacy of Merck's Thor-inspired COVID pill crumbles, vexing experts. Why hundreds of thousands of bots descended on one Steam arcade collection. The 2022 Porsche Taycan GT's first drive. Asteroid sample return shows water on its rock surface. Lawsuit, Google employees were fired for upholding Don't Be Evil code. Labor board orders a do-over in Amazon warehouse union election. Users revolt as Microsoft bolts a short-term financing app onto Edge. UK orders Facebook to sell Jiffy, rejects Meta's proposed merger conditions. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Trump supporter arrested after allegedly casting multiple ballots in Florida. MAGA kids launch Christmas insurrection in Mark Zuckerberg theme Elf on the Shelf parody. Officer fired after fatally shooting man in wheelchair 9 times from behind. American Library Association sounds alarm on hundreds of right-wing campaigns aimed at censoring books. Virginia sheriff accused of firing lawmaker's husband to protect alleged MAGA riding deputy. Kevin McCarthy told Marjorie Taylor Greene to stop enter GOP feuds, and she walked out on him, CNN reporter. Watch, MAGA rioter starts sobbing in front of FBI agents when asked about Trump calling him to D.C. Nancy Mace drops profane rant against Marjorie Taylor Greene in latest escalation of their feud. They kill all the birds. Trump attacks Boris Johnson for investing in wind turbines. You will not live much longer. Ilhan Omar plays threatening voicemail she received in wake of call with Bobert. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Australia's spy agency saw climate crisis coming 40 years ago. I asked 7 classics experts how to say Omicron. Come down the rabbit hole with me. Nerdles, the worst toxic waste you've probably never heard of. How biking calms my pandemic angst. The next items are today's top search results for extraterrestrial life. NASA to launch a telescope bigger and more powerful than Hubble, KQED. The following items are today's top search results for the term neural plasticity. Hippocampal neuron cytosolic and membrane-bound ribosomal transcript profiles are differentially regulated by learning and subsequent sleep, pnas.org. The next items are the top results for news about longevity and immortality. Ajax Therapeutics licensee Imstem Biotechnology announces first U.S. multiple sclerosis patient dosed with IM001, Galveston County Daily News. Whose doomsday plan is better, Musk's or Bezos? Screenshot. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, December 1st, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. Claims of paranormal activity at Skinwalker Ranch, Campfire Tales. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, December 1st, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on in, on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.